For Valentine's Day, I made these 3 animations about self-shippers on Valentine's Day with some of my favorite characters. Huh? What? Look how cute they are! Oh my goodness! Hi, I'm CristelRubey, and you're watching my slow descent into madness. Anyway, I want to show you how I made these. Starting with the part with me in it, the opening and ending sequences. I make all of my animations in Live 2D, so I had to make a model in the drawing software of my choice, which is Sketchbook for Android. I add any extra bits and finish cutting the model in Speedpaint, but I won't be showing any of that part. For the animation, I wanted my PNGTuber to be sitting at a table in front of a drawing tablet, trying to think about what to draw, and then falls asleep. Which is when the dream sequence happens, and then they abruptly wake up blushing. First, I sketch out the general poses I want for the animation. Think of these like roughs or thumbnails in the animation process. If this was a longer animation with different shots, I would do proper thumbnails and a frame-by-frame whip. The main point with the sketch is to draw the poses the character needs to be in and to make sure all the pieces of the model are in frame so nothing is cut off. The sketch also helps me see if I need to draw any extra pieces, like a different hand pose or a different lash to actually make my character look sleepy. For lining and coloring, I tried to draw the individual cut pieces in layer order to keep things organized. This is a quite simple model, so it's easier to understand where each piece goes, but on a more complex model with more layers, it's much more confusing. Pieces like the torso and the arm on the right, I left them as one complete layer because they were going to be stationary. But I had to cut the lower torso because the layer needed to be under the table and the upper torso and the arm needed to be on top. I also kept in mind what this model didn't need to do, such as lip syncing and full 2.5D motion. I only wanted the face to have 2.5D motion, not the body. And at this point, I had no planned lines, so I'd only needed to toggle between the 2 mouth shapes. In the end, I did add a what voice line to the final animation, but I didn't have time or cared enough to add extra layers and parameters. After I cut and colored the model, I move over to Clip Studio Paint to finish cutting the facial features, as I have a layer limit on Sketchbook. I also name all the layers, so when I import it to Live 2D, I know which layers are which to start rigging. So here is the final Live 2D model for the opening and ending animations. I wasn't able to record what I did because it would have taken forever, and also like the speed paint for that would have been awful. So here are the parameters I ended up having. The eye opens, the eyeballs, and brow Y are all the original parameters when you open up a new Live 2D file, and everything else is new parameters specifically for this animation. So for the eye blinking, very simple animation. Add the middle keyframe so I can have it slightly. I added the middle keyframe so I could have the sleepy lash. And then it's just a normal closing of the eyes. To make this, I had a mixture of deform path and deform brush tool to make it get down to that position. Same thing with the extra lash. Enable X and Y, very simple as well. But I also added an eyes deformer. This is just under a regular warp deformer, and I just make it smaller. It looks really good. This is specifically for the ending animation because I wanted to make my face look a little bit more shocked. Brow Y, I put both the eyebrows onto brow Y because I wasn't going to add any extra emotions. It was just surprise and sleepy, so I only needed to work on those ones. For the actively making the body language sleepy, I have the head movements to slump down and then also a lean. And the L arm as well. I wanted the arm to fall this way originally, but in the final animation I had it fall downwards like this, which is a little different to what I originally had, which was a completely different arm, which was this one. You can move the arm back up. That arm would be there, and I turn off this finger here. So I ended up not doing that and just have the regular arm fall down to the table. Had a finger tap animation as well, just up and down. And head X, just a warp deformer on it. The hair, I need to get better at the 2.5D because the way the ear and the hair is moving doesn't look quite right. But I'm trying. Necklace is just a rotation deformer. The hair is just warp deformers and the deform brush to make it look like it's moving. It's all on the same parameter because I don't like to think. And the blush is just that. The way I do blush on my characters is I make a completely different version of the face and just put it under all of the same warp deformers or rotation deformers. Like the ear has a blush on it, and I can just toggle those off or back on, or make it go invisible like how I do it here. Opacity 100 if you can see on screen there, and then opacity 0. And for the animations, I had, for the roughs, I kept it as a separate file, mainly because I wanted to copy and paste them across, because otherwise I would have to just delete the whole thing. This was the roughs I did. It goes a little too fast. I could just turn the velocity down a bit, which would make it a little bit slower. But what I ended up doing for the redo of that, I copied and pasted across the keyframes, which I liked, but made it a lot longer. I believe this is 8 seconds long. Yes, it is 8 seconds long. And I timed it out. Oh, this is still velocity at 50. 1 second. 100. And there we go. For the tapping, I acted out the tapping while I ran it, and then I just paused where I wanted the taps to be, which ended up being every 15 seconds. Or 15 frames. But it turned out very nicely. I'm very happy with the sleeping animation. It looks really good. Okay, I have to change some pieces. Change the mouth to the line for the ending animation because it changes the emotion. But I didn't want to put it under a parameter because it was easy. It was easier to do it like this. So wake up, look around, and then stare at the camera. I'm actually very proud of like how the 2.5D worked. It's a very, very small amount of motion, but it worked pretty good for what it is. And that I'm not that good at it. This is only 4 seconds long, so at the end I just repeat this bit of just moving backwards and forwards and slowed it down for the actual animation, so when my QR code comes up on screen, there is still a little bit of movement in the blur. But that is the live 2D model for the opening and ending sequence. Before we continue, if you're enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm hopefully going to be making more animations like this. The link to my socials is in the description if you want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, or Blue Sky, or even Ko-fi. I had to cut down the Shinobu speed paint, so if you want to see me drawing the sketch, I have a Twitch VOD on my channel. It's unlisted, so it'll be linked in the description. You can also find it on my channel in the Twitch VOD playlist. I get to talk about some of my favorite characters now! Yippee! I ended up choosing 3 characters for my animations, so I could post 3 different versions. Rosaria from Genshin Impact, August from Gachiakuta, and Shinobu from Demon Slayer. I did want to do versions for Seto Kaiba, Ingo, and Tengen and his wives, but I didn't have time to do them all, so maybe next year. Also, Tengen and his wives would be like 4 different models, and that's a lot. That is a lot. Rosaria is my wife! She's been my wife since I first laid eyes upon her. She's a nun who doesn't believe in God, who then goes down to the angel share to drink with the God she doesn't believe in. I think that's funny. Some backstory on Rosaria is that she punishes criminals who are a threat to Mondstadt at night, as shown in her second character story, and in how tired she is during the day, and how much she wants to skip out on her duties at church, which is what most people know her for. It's my own personal headcanon that she's also mistaken for the Dark Knight hero when she's working at night, because of her red hair and her blood red veil. If you haven't read her third character story, you might not know she's a smoker. So I wanted the dream sequence for her to be on a smoke break, and she notices you and she winks, and God, this is so self-serving. I love her. I also headcanon her as a vampire, which I think is the least unique headcanon I have for her. There's so many fics where she's a vampire, but I included pointed ears in her design to sort of imply that. On to August. He's one of the newer characters I've fallen in love with. He's unapologetically loud, creative, and just poses a lot. I can't really articulate why I like him so much. He's just a silly guy. It's like that meme why I like character A so much and it's a full essay, and why I like character B and it's just he's a silly little guy. August is character B. Lastly, Shinobu. I love Shinobu. I tend to like stubborn characters, so I didn't really know why I liked Shinobu at the start until the flashback where Kane and Shinobu first meet and take in Kanao. The fact that she's more stubborn when her sister Kane was alive and then took on Kane's personality after she died made me love Shinobu even more. She just deserves a big hug and someone she can be herself around. She is just perfect! So this is the final models for the dream sequences. I'm not going to go into too much detail with them. I'm only going to do the main movements, not all of the eye opens and everything. Starting with Rosaria, my wife! Look at my wife! Oh, she's so cute. I love her. So, something I did different on this model is I kept the eye smiles. So, I can make her look like she's smiling. Very important for this animation specifically that I made it so she looked like her face softened. If I move the arm away, I can show the mouth. So this is how I drew it as. But then I have the blowing the smoke out, and then mouth shut, and then the smile as well. I have head tilt and body tilt if I go a bit backwards. It's not much movement, given that I have a lot of rotation deformers under the body tilt. If you have too many deformers under the main deformer, it won't move anything. So if you've ever had that happen, I've had that happen, especially on my August model. For the arm parameter, I had the fingers move. The most annoying thing with the hand is I had to keep on moving the smoke so it would always be in an upright position. This was awful. I have to admit, I do not want to animate smoke ever again. And it just has this wiggle. It's not proper smoke animation. I did find a live 2D model which had a smoking animation, but I could not figure out how they actually animated the smoke on it. For the chest, this is the breathing. The chest itself doesn't breathe, it's just this section to make it look like she's taking an inhale of breath. Really, I should have left the breath parameter, which is one of the default ones, but I deleted it by the time I came up with the idea for it. For August, he has way too many deformers. I also had to add a template for his head because I wanted to move his head down. For the arms, really, I should have not brought the arm down from here. And I had a lot of issues with the arm sticking out like this. The line art not working well. But because of the path of the animation, which goes through like this, it didn't really matter. pretty much exactly the same on the other side. I don't know how or what happened with the hands shrinking. I don't know why that happened or what was going on. Face, I moved it away and I brought the glasses up because I wanted focus face. Because I drew the eyes, I wanted people to see them. Body X is just a tilt. Dangle is for the little thingies on his belt. I don't know what they are, but I thought they should move. Hair, simple as well. Because he has long hair, I didn't do as much movement, just to sway. With characters with short hair like Rosaria and my character, it's much easier to do like a really subtle movement. But I also had a neck one as well. So I can make this pose. Oh, I love him so much. Shinobu? Oops. I did not mean to do that. She also has the smile parameters on her as well. And I have the mouth open as well on her. So surprise and a smile. Body X. Pretty simple. The thing I love the most about this animation, that's the wrong one, is our arm, because she's holding the vial of poison. Whoops. It's very subtle movement, but I move the fingers up and down. And if I zoom in, it's going to be pretty hard to see. The liquid inside moves a bit. I wanted it to look like actual liquid. I watched a video, it was just a short about how they did liquid inside of like a pen or something. I believe it was a pen tracker. But I was like, I'm not doing all that. I only have 12 hours to make this, and I was already like halfway through those 12 hours. But this is my favorite bit. And I'm very sad that the way I did the animation, you can't really see the hand. Oh, it's perfect. I love it. I love it. Hand move is simple as well. And I also did a blush for Shinobu as well. Though I didn't go up to this amount of blush. I believe I only went to about here. Oh, he's so pretty. I did combine the head and body parameters for this one though, mainly because I didn't need as much animation. Moving on to the animations. Because I did not combine the models for Rosaria and her background, I had to make a completely new live 2D model just for the background. It does have animation, the stars twinkle. I was just very happy with that. But for this, it's just moving through. You can slightly see the stars to the thing. But I was very happy with this. I should zoom it in a bit. Very happy with it in the end. I ended up slowing it down for the final animation. This is only 7 seconds and I moved it up to 8 seconds. But it came out nice either way. Oh, she's just so pretty. I don't really know what else to say about that specifically. So we'll move on to August. I did the same thing with him. Had the background on a different layer. Made a whole live 2D model just for the background. And guess what? Guess what? No animation on this model. So it's just a layer. Oh. Anyway, so for the animation, this is how it ended up turning out. Just smiling and then turning, and then the glasses coming up. And with how I moved the animation, you didn't see all the jank with the hands and the lines coming off of it. Everything is perfect on screen. You're seeing the behind the scenes. But it's very nice. I do like this one. And then for Shinobu, I did not know where I should put the line for movement, but I actually drew the background with Shinobu, so I didn't have to make an extra live 2D model with it. But this is how it ended up looking. Surprise! And then she blushes looking at you. Oh, I love her. I made sure you got a little bit of that motion with the vial in when she's shaking it to see how it is. I don't know. I know nothing. Vial of poison. Ouch. But I made sure it would be in the animation. This ended up being 8 seconds as well. In the final animation, 2 seconds get cut off of it from all of the animations, mainly because I'm fading them together. Fade in and fade out. So it is slightly shorter than it should be. But I love this animation as well. I love all the animations because I made them. They took forever and I love doing them. The actual keyframes for this one was really hard to do. I spent forever on the roughs because we're going from one position to another position, and it was very confusing. And so that is the final models and animations for the dream sequence. Now we get to do my favorite bit. I love analytics. I don't know why. I like just seeing a bunch of numbers and going, wow, I did really good. So I collated the first 24 hours of analytics on each platform I posted my animations to. So on Valentine's Day, I posted the Rosaria one. For the first 24 hours, YouTube seemed to be the best. I got the most views, the most comments, and most follows from it. But TikTok was better likewise. I had 100 likes from TikTok. But something you're gonna see is that Instagram seems to be failing a lot. One, it doesn't get pushed out in the algorithm, and two, only my followers seem to see my content. And also, the audience who sees my content is a lot different. It's all based in the UK, which makes sense because I'm based in the UK. But the men to women ratio is different. TikTok, I can see an other category, but it's like 0.1 or 2. It doesn't count. It just puts it at 0. It just rounds it up on TikTok, so I can't see if anyone. To be honest, I would want a 100% other category, 100% other, but people like me watching my things. But TikTok was more women and Instagram were more men throughout the whole thing. On to August, which got split between 2 pages. He did the best on TikTok, which I kind of expected because Gachiakuta got a big fandom on TikTok. YouTube did not very well, but it did end up going up to 900 after a couple days. So it did become comparable to my other content on YouTube. Instagram, I got nothing. Only 17 minutes of watch time. Awful. But TikTok did the best. I got the most follows. I got the most likes in the first 24 hours, most favorites. I didn't get any comments, but I didn't expect comments on Instagram or TikTok. But no comments on YouTube, so it was kind of sad. Shinobu, I thought would be the best, mainly because of how big the Demon Slayer fandom is, across all social media, but we are in a Demon Slayer lull in content. Last year we had the movie and the video game, but nothing's came out recently. But it did the best on YouTube. I got 900 views in the first 24 hours, 52 likes, 2 comments, 3 follows. So I'm trying to build my viewer base on YouTube as my main platform. So seeing that usually gets the most follows and subscribers is really good. Second came TikTok at 250 views. It didn't really do well in the algorithm. I think it's because TikTok might have screened it to see that it was the same content every time. The first couple of seconds was exactly the same in all 3 videos. Instagram did the worst. It didn't get pushed out. I only got 2 likes and 1 favorite and 1 follow. I believe that was my only follow for Instagram. Yeah, only 1 person overall followed me on Instagram, which is good. I got some traction to my Instagram account, but it did terribly over there. I have the combined analytics for the first 24 hours to see what overall won out. Seemingly, YouTube did the best with the most views in the first 24 hours, a good amount of likes, a good amount of comments, and also I got 9 follows from the first 24 hours. And the best performing video was Rosaria. TikTok came in second, got 1,800 views, and 260 likes, 20 favorites, which is a lot of favorites, 6 shares, and 2 comments, and 6 follows. And August did the best in the first 24 hours, and is still the best, I believe. Instagram was the worst overall. only 1,300 views, 37 likes, 3 favorites, 1 share, and 1 follow. But Rosaria was the best video, which I kind of expected Rosaria to be the best video across all 3 platforms because it was the first video I posted, and Genshin is quite a large fandom. So now I get to read out what my final thoughts were. All 3 videos were the same length, 22 seconds, and had the same beginning and ending animations and voice acting / effects. The only difference between the 3 is the title on screen and the middle animation and the music. So if the viewer doesn't read the text on screen or see the logo, they may think it's the same video within the first 6 seconds. Overall, Instagram was the worst performing within the first 24 hours, with minimal interactions between all 3 videos. It also had a hard time getting pushed out into the algorithm and to people who would like the content. Instagram seems to prefer larger accounts in the algorithm. TikTok had the most likes than any other social media I posted to, and the best interaction with the most favorites and reposts across all 3 videos. August did the best on TikTok since the Gachiakuta fandom on TikTok is quite large and very active since season 1 just finished. YouTube had the best viewership and more people commented on the videos. More people stayed to watch the videos, racking up 5 hours of watch time from a 22-second video. And more people subscribed and watched other content from my channel. The last long-form video I posted was my birthday video, which had 165 views before I posted my shorts and 207 by the end. TikTok and Instagram stopped pushing the videos out after 24 hours. Their view counts and likes have remained relatively the same. YouTube has continued to push out the videos. All 3 are close to or have surpassed 1,000 views and have roughly 40 to 60 likes. The August video jumped up viewership immensely after 24 hours. So that is my final analytics overview. So, truly, YouTube did the best, and I'm quite glad that YouTube did the best because that's my main platform. I kind of wish that TikTok did a bit better because I do want to start posting more videos to TikTok, but it seems like I would have to post pretty much daily to keep on getting traction to that. But that's my final analysis. I hope you liked the video, and please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel. As I said earlier, I want to make more animation content. I don't know what my next video will be animation-wise. I really am getting back into X-Men, so it might be an X-Men themed one. If you have any other suggestions of what animations I could do in the future, please suggest them in the comments below. I hope you liked the video. I have a playlist on screen that you might like. Click it, click it, click it! Well, if that's not your thing, may I interest you in a subscription? Or maybe you'd like to see my other socials. Just scan the QR code on screen. See you next time!